could be good learning tools. And I think history is something they could definitely teach really well through video games. And I think some try.
There have been some in the past, which is you had Oregon Trail, a Yukon Trail. I think Yukon Trail is probably a Canadian game that was exclusive to our elementary school. I don't know. I haven't really seen it elsewhere.
Well, I even think of games like the World War II games, and I know Assassin's Creed. I think they tried to make really accurate Egypt or something like that. Tried
really accurate in game form, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like I think you could take that further and really make it, kind of true history lessons if they wanted to. I don't know if the market would be all that receptive to something like that. But I'm sure a lot of people have been exposed to certain things they never would have cared about, but they got more into them through video games.
Yeah. I think in general, the problem with the video game portrayal of history is its movie, cinema.
Yeah.
Kind of
the star of the show.
Everything has been enhanced to make it a little bit faster, a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Because when history is going down, history is pretty boring.
Yeah, and it takes a while to happen generally. It's kind of slow.
You don't look back at it until later and go, wow.
It's like the one day here and there where it's like, wow, a lot of stuff really happened on this day.
Yeah.
And those are like the big game, or the big days usually play in the games. But yeah, that's not really like the history of it. Those are the battles, sure, or whatever, if it's, a warring type thing. But the real history is happening in the politics and the propaganda and, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of, it can be day to day kind of stale. So I don't know how you would go about maybe VR will be good for that, or it's just like you're literally just exploring worlds and they're just exposing you to all these sort of ideas. It's not so much of a game as it is like just a virtual experience of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else do you think would be something you could actually teach or use video games for? I know puzzle games are really good at like training your brain and doing little mind twisty things. Nothing springs to mind.
Nothing springing to mind at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, all I could really come up with was instruments and history. Kind of, I mean, there have been like math puzzle games. I remember for the computer, even like typing games.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to type
the typing
faster
game.
And you learn how to type.
That did help with keeping you interested in it.
Yeah. Like, keeping score. I think that's the...
There's a couple Steam games out there that are basically kind of teaching you how to program.
Oh, yeah. But doing it more game-wise.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I've not really gotten into that. It's a little bit deeper in than I'm interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. It depends, I guess, at what age you're exposed to that kind of stuff, too. I mean, or if we're kind of like past the possible career line for something like that, or even just... you only have so much time to do things, and learning programming is a time-intensive thing, for sure. But going back to the rhythm games, yeah, they definitely... I blame Guitar Hero more than Harmonix, who makes Rock Band. They started making Guitar Hero games, and then I think Activision got a hold of the Guitar Hero license or whatever it was. Yeah. And Harmonix moved on to do Rock Band and published it under EA, I think. And I think they were just smarter about it. They weren't releasing like literally 2 standalone games a year the way Activision was pushing. And Activision seems to do this with every single property they acquire. It's just, let's just throw 1 million of them out there. Because I think, they would get like an AC/DC game plus a main Guitar Hero game.
Who did the Beatles and the Metallica?
The Beatles was Harmonix.
Right.
So that was Rock Band guys. But the Metallica, the AC/DC, I think there was a few other themed ones. Those were all done in Guitar Hero. They'd basically release one of those and one of the main games
each year.
Oh, Van Halen was another one. I didn't even have
the problem
time to
is
play
that
them all. I own them all, I think.
At that point, you can, by the time those ones were coming out, you can download everything. So it doesn't really make sense. You can just release a list of these are the songs that are coming out and spend your money.
It was weird that they would be releasing standalone games to do that, because you'd get... I wonder if it was a licensing
profit margin
thing.
Would be smaller, too, on that, because you're developing a whole game again.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus releasing literally just a track with your interpretation of how it should be played.
I know for AC/DC, they wouldn't allow their songs at first anyway. I think they've become more lenient now because Well, now maybe I'm mistaking, and AC/DC was released in Rock Band. Because we played AC/DC songs, didn't we? In Rock Band?
Originally, I think we might have. I don't think they've been in recent ones.
Yeah. I know that their whole thing was like, you can't release our music unless it's an album form.
They generally did ask for a lot of royalties for their songs, from what I've heard.
And you needed a lot of them at the same time, because it's like, oh, we don't release singles anywhere, ever. Like even Iron Man, I think, to use that one song, they had to release an entire soundtrack of AC/DC songs. Yeah, it was just kind of flooding. It was a weird, for us, it never died off. But I stopped, like, it was almost every party or whatever little gathering I would go to in, I guess, mid-2000s or whatever, late 2008. How do you say that? 2008,
2018?
No, back in like 10 years ago.
Oh.
It seems like everywhere I would go, there'd be just a corner with a TV set up and Guitar Hero going. Yeah, 08.
Oh, wait.
The knots.
Just cut out the 20.
I think they call them the knots. If there's a 0 or something like that. The knots, then the teens. Yeah. I'll have to mess around with this audio later.
Looks a little low.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. Especially yours. Oh well. That's what post-production is for. Once I start doing these live, that's sort of I'm gonna have to get my shit together.
Well, speaking about history and in games, there's been you wanted to look at older computer games and nostalgia factor and remakes of those games coming out as TV shows, and
yeah,
that it did just release a standalone Oregon Trail game.
Really?
Literally, it's its own little player. It's $25. It's a little retro game player for that game specifically. It looks like a cross between an old computer, really old computer, and an original Game Boy.
It's an actual
it's a little unit.
Weird.
It's just for playing that game.
That's
if you've got it's very specific. If you have the nostalgia factor for that game,
I guess that's just
it's $25 game, really, and it comes with its own player.
You think it'd be a mobile game or something? You just like
there's probably a couple out there. I haven't gone looking for them.
Wouldn't be surprised if they're not exactly the same, like complete knockoffs.
Yeah,
of it.
But that's one teaching history.
Yeah, and your entire family's dying to random diseases, and you can't make it.
That you can't cure and can't treat.
It's a very dark reality of type game.